All right, so we got another one, you guys. We just leaving TNT Trailers here in Troutdale, and a customer who just purchased this particular trailer, this 34-foot dry van with a lift gate. Called us and wanted this unit moved to a storage yard to load furniture in, and so he kind of consigned us to pick this thing up and deliver it to a furniture storage yard and make use of it so he can load his furniture into this trailer and then repark it in another storage yard. So we made accommodations to make this happen for him. We're here hooking up to this dry van now, and we're going to be taking it over to Hillsboro for this customer. And this is just a simple hook up and drop and delivery in the local community area here. We're accustomed to these. Before we connect to this unit, we have to, of course, inspect it and do a pre-trip as well. Make sure the license plate is current. We have a trip permit for it. Make sure all the lights work. Make sure all the elements of the transport are available and displayed and recognized. Make sure we got tread. Make sure the unit is roadworthy. An inspection, DOT inspection on the unit needs to be made. If it hasn't been one, we will request that. Generally, this is what it takes. This is the dry van. We're going to hook up underneath. That's our fifth wheel. It's going to slide underneath and connect to the pin. We're going to raise the landing gear, connect the air, connect the lights, and pull it. What we noticed right off the bat, there's a major scratch right here. It looks like it was painted on. This trailer must have been painted in detail by the shop. Obviously the backing here is old. This is an older trailer. We're going to look at the tires. The tires seem to be good and usable. They got more than enough thread to use. The outside looks like it's been painted on both sides. And we got a jump box here, battery jump box. We're going to make this happen because we got to get out of the way. So let's connect it and then check the light. Anything that you connect to, you make sure that you can verify the VIN number on the unit with the paperwork. You can verify the unit number. Make sure that you're actually picking up the unit that corresponds to the paperwork. Trip. Make sure the lights are operational. Make sure you got good tread. Like I said earlier, you got tags, you got license plates, you've got temporaries. Make sure there's no scratches, dings and dangs on the outside body. Connect to it properly. Make sure the brakes work by pulling forward a little bit and applying the brakes. Looks like this is a axle that does not shift. It's not a adjustable axle. It's permanent. It is a 34-footer, so it's a little smaller unit. It is only a dry van, so that makes it easier to get around in the cities. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you got proper inflation on the tires. We've already double-checked that there's no damage to the tires. These are super singles. As you can see here, these are one fat tire on the rear. It's not dualies. Well, it's dualies, but it's not, well, it's two axles, but not dualies. Unlike the truck itself, has dualies. You see here, that's a single axle tire. And so that completes our pre-trip. We've already checked the tire pressure, we checked the lights, we're connected, the jaws are locked, the landing gear's up, and now we can hit the road with this transfer. So good morning, guys. We got here to the storage yard with the 34-footer and had to park the trailer into this open bay here to make availability to the customers to load it. This is a tight proximity parking space. It's got U-Haul storage boxes and U-Haul trailers being rented out, and the entrance to it is right here. And then the turning space is very limited. The height clearance is very limited. There is 13.6 clearance, but anything less than or bigger than 34 foot would be a hazard to turn into the spot. But we are here, and we're going to be assisting with the I guess part of the loading process, and we'll be leaving here as soon as it's ready to go. So while we're waiting here, we're on what's called a standby right now, waiting for the customer to bring his loading crew and load the trailer with the furniture and so supplies, whatever they have, because we're here now. And we're just waiting on the loaders to arrive and the customer to make accommodations for that. Well, while we're waiting on standby, you know, some of these straps that we've used in the past were loose. So I tend to find ways to organize the truck so that way next time these straps are sorry, easier found. There I go, I lose my camera. So anyway, sorry. So here's my strap roll, and I'm basically having to put these back together and wrap them up so that way they're conveniently you know, stored. So be productive with your time, that's the way I think, and stay busy even though you're on standby. It's a nice day. The sun partially is coming out, peeking through the clouds, and you know, well better time than right now to actually clean up a little bit and actually reorganize. So these straps have been useful over the trips we've taken, and maintaining them is important. So having an organized truck is important as well, and being able to reach for the straps when needed. These are the 3,300 pound straps. Unlike the bigger guys, they're usually just used for additional support or tying down various other items that don't need heavy duty stuff. But they're very handy to have. These are, you know, they come with their own ratchet, and important is maintaining them, keeping them obviously dry is a good thing, but if you can't do that, just try your best to not let them corrode, not let them deteriorate, because they're, you know, 40-50 bucks a piece. And so when you got 100 straps or 50 straps or however many you got, then that, you know, uses up your revenue and your cash flow. And the bigger straps, these, unlike these ones, these are the smaller ones. The bigger straps are about 50 bucks. You can find them for about $40, 38, 40, 45, and those are you know, the 5,500 pounds straps, the bigger, wider, stronger. Those guys are you know, used mostly for professional grade. These are designed for professional as well as secondary. But having straps, adequate amount of straps is important. You can't go wrong with tying down or adding additional straps, even in case you get to a point where, like, should I be, well, if you ever need, if you feel like your gut is telling you to put additional straps, go ahead and do it. Put as many straps as you got, just in case. It's usually, it gives you peace of mind as a driver, and it gives us peace of mind that you're doing stuff that's supposed to be done safely. Here's the ratchets that go along with those. Like I said, sometimes it's best to stay organized and keep your stuff together as clean and dry as possible. In this case, as you see in the previous load we transferred, this particular strap got knotted all up, and well, we had to cut it. So that's a loss there. The ratchet is still good, but the strap is busted, so we're gonna have to see if we can make use of that one. But sometimes you get in a position where you have to cut the strap. That was one of those. Let me show you the rest of the mess. So this right here is the inventory of straps, tie downs, ratchet straps, and bar, and then the oversized signs. There's at least a dozen straps, the bigger guys, and half a dozen of the smaller ones. This is not the entire inventory, but this is half of the inventory. On the other side of the truck, back on that cubby there, well, right there, there's a whole new set of straps that need to be configured and placed securely somewhere. But generally these are organized in an organized fashion. Now I'm going to be trying to stack them all inside that suitcase bag and then have them when they're needed. I managed to get most of the straps wrapped up and put aside. This is what it looks like in my little cubby. All these larger straps are over here stacked. There's probably 10 of them there, and my tool bag there with tools is also in there. But all the straps are organized in there and inside the under cubby. And then this one here also, the other side, is also the same thing. There's all these ratchets and straps located inside here as well. So with that in mind, I'm somewhat organized. I'm still on standby, waiting for this trailer to be loaded up by these wonderful people here. There's movers in there trying to move the stuff in. And once that's done, I can relocate this trailer down to where the customer wants it. In the meantime, I remain on standby. Hello, this is Chris. Again, just about finished here and forgot to push the record button, so I've been speaking for about 10 minutes, seems like. Anyway, the loading is completed here. Mr. Johnson, our client here, is closing the lift gate. And we'll be departing here and heading over to Troutdale, make this delivery, and then this particular transport will be complete as well. Well, we arrived at the drop-off site, and this is the storage yard where the customer wants the unit parked. We're gonna disconnect the trailer and leave it behind. It's secured, it's in a safe space. It's the only space available at this time, at this night. So we're parking it and dropping this off right now, and that concludes our delivery for this van, dry van trailer that's full with furniture. Just like with anything else, you got to lower the landing gear. You know, as trailers usually sit on their landing gear, and it's dark, you can barely see anything, but we use the lights of the marker lights to examine the gears. And once the landing gear is completely down, we're going to pull the pin. And now the landing gear is completely down. And here's the glad hand, so we're going to disconnect and reconnect our truck. It's hard to do this one-handed, but let's see if we can do it. Yeah, I got the electrical. Anyway, This is where we put it onto our truck and purpose them one-handed, by the way. It's hard to push in the glad hands one-handed, but filming one-handed and putting things in one-handed, it's not a good idea. But anyway, that said, my glad hands are back on here on my truck. The electrical is connected back. I've got this additional electrical cable for RVs. My catwalk is clean except the coil for my RV extension. Now we're going to disconnect the fifth wheel just like I showed in the previous videos. My fifth wheel requires additional twisting and turning, and then we're going to release the airbags to lower the frame. Now that the truck is fully disconnected, you're wondering why did I release the airbags? Well, I've got that other pin right there, or that hitch for the fifth wheel that sometimes without releasing the airbags will catch into the pin when disconnecting on this particular truck. So that is the reason why we lower the airbags, so that way when I release and pull from underneath, I don't actually catch the back of the truck on the pin. So now that we're disconnected completely, we're going to turn the service light off and depart. Another perfectly transported trailer onto the next one.